In today's Leeds news, Leeds Under21s lift first silverware of the season. Gray sets targets after victory. Shake up behind the scenes at Boardroom level. Morate's visit not what reported. Leeds interested in Bundesliga shotstopper. And gambling site call out EFL on Piroe. Morning folks, welcome back to The View for Wednesday morning, the 30th of April for your Legionite news. Hope you're having a good week so far. There's a bit of stuff to get stuck into today and we'll start off and get into it straight away because there's a fair bit. There will be a podcast tonight, just a quick update to let you know about 7:30 tonight. There will be some form of a review of what's happened over the last week or so and a look ahead to the away game at the weekend against Plymouth. But we'll start today with the news around the Under21s picking up the first silverware of the season, and Leeds Under21s became the inaugural National League Cup champions after beating Sutton United 2-1 last night. Sutton had a slight advantage coming into this game, knowing that the game was being played at their ground. But Leeds' young whites did enough to be crowned champions on the night. Diego Monteiro got Leeds United off the mark after tapping into the back post after a lovely cross from the right hand side, and Harry Gray added the second goal in a similar fashion after a lovely move down the right hand side, ball across the box, and he finished very nicely at the back post to give Leeds a 2-0 win. Sutton did get one back, but Leeds Under21 coach Scott Gardner has hailed his young Leeds United white side for their professionalism in this game and the build up to it. And Leeds brought about 400 supporters with them as well to the game, about 3,500 people in total at the game. Also, just to let you know, the Leeds United Under18s will be in action today at 5:30. They take on Newcastle at Whitley Park. If you want to check that one out, you can. But congratulations to Scott Gardner, Michael Pujak and the Leeds United Under21s for becoming the inaugural National League Cup champions and picking up the first silverware of the season. Let's move on and talk about one of the players involved in that and his thoughts on his season and what's to come. And that's young Harry Gray. Harry is having a hell of a few weeks as a Leeds United senior player after making his debut for the first team, as well as then celebrating promotion twice in the 1 week with the celebrations after the Stoke City game and then again against Bristol City the other night. Picked up a trophy last night as well, and he scored in that game, but he's not finished yet and he's got some high goals for himself moving forward. And speaking to LUTV after the Under21 win, Harry Gray had the following to say about what he wants to do as well as how his season has gone this season. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's been a good week, to be honest. I just want more. I want to keep scoring goals, but hopefully in the first team next year. Prove myself. It was a difficult start to the season as I was around with the first team. Injury helped me as a player. I developed a lot more physically and I'm a different player and I feel a lot stronger in the end. And it has done me a bit of a favour with more time out to develop a bit more. He definitely doesn't look like your normal 16-year-old walking around the pitch. He's a big lad and he has developed and he has filled out a little bit with more to come, you would imagine, with that as well. But yeah, phenomenal start, and great to see that he wants more and is setting himself with some first team goals next season in the Premier League for Leeds. But we move on and talk about the main story of the day, and that's the shake up behind the scenes at Elland Road. And with Angus Kinnear and Nick Hammond moving off to Everton at the end of this season, a rejig behind the scenes was always likely to happen, and now Leeds have confirmed some of those changes. Leeds have confirmed leadership changes that will come into effect after Angus Kinnear departs the club at the end of the season. Former Premier League chairman Peter McCormack was already confirmed as the new vice chairman for Leeds, having previously been the chairman of the Premier League and had previously worked at Leeds United in the past as well. That was confirmed a couple of months back, but now Robbie Evans has been promoted to a managing director role after 2 years as the chief strategy officer at the club. Adam Underwood has been confirmed as the club's new sporting director and will take the lead on the recruitment side of things. And Underwood has come through the ranks at Elland Road after spending a decade with the Leeds United Academy. Chief Operating Officer Murray Eisenberg has also changed roles, and he is the new Chief Business Officer at the club. And Faye Greer will be promoted to the Chief Financial Officer position. A statement from the ownership on these changes reads as follows. Evans currently oversees the club's recruitment and football analytics department. Previously, he had served as Chief Strategy Officer at a 2,000 plus person publicly traded company, and before that a key contributor in the new stadium development with the San Francisco 49ers. Underwood now adds oversight to his recruitment department to his existing responsibilities, leading player trading, football operations, performance and medical management, and Leeds United Academy. Piroe Marathe has also had his say on the new appointments and the new changes behind the scenes at Ellen Road, and he said the following: "I'm excited to welcome this group into their new roles as leaders of this club. These appointments are a recognition of the depth of our leadership team, our significant sporting and business achievements over the past 2 seasons, and our commitment to building a high-performance club led by individuals who represent Leeds United inside and out. I am confident that they will drive the club forward in the next chapter." It's interesting to talk about putting the best people into the positions to do the right jobs. And Piroe Marathe, when he was first interviewed as Leeds United chairman when they took over last year, said the same thing, that his job would be to put the best people in place and let them do their jobs. But it's great to see Leeds promoting from within, and it's great to see Adam Underwood, who has spent so long with the Leeds United Academy, now move into the sporting director role at the club. So very much one of our own, taking over a key role involved with the first team and recruitment, heading into a very, very important summer for Leeds United. And we move on and talk about the rest of Marathe's visit. And as Monday's game approached, The Guardian and Football Insider ran 2 pretty harsh pieces, or direct pieces, around the future of Daniel Farke, and claimed that Marathe was flying into England to dismiss the Leeds United manager, or at least have discussions around the manager moving on from the club. But the actual reason for Piroe Marathe's visit to Ellen Road now appears to be coming out, and it's probably what every level-headed person thought at the time, and that was Piroe Marathe was flying into Ellen Road to enjoy the promotion party at the club, as well as discuss with the relevant people the moves we've already talked about happening within the club. Jed York, who is at the top of the 49ers Enterprises pyramid, also flew in for that game, as well as Pete Lewy was there, and most of the other Leeds United investors were all at the ground for the game. Before the game itself, Daniel Farke was asked about his thoughts on the situation, and he said, "Don't always believe what you read in the newspapers." And then after the game, when he was asked about it, he said he wasn't surprised by it, but he had no time to waste on gossip. As much as nothing is guaranteed in football, and no matter what is said at this point, there's no guarantee anybody will be exactly where they are come the beginning of the new season. Leeds Live sources say that any reports around Daniel Farke leaving appear to be wide of the mark, as long as with the Athletic saying that Leeds are more likely to stay with Farke than change, and reports today saying that there are little truth in the rumours at the moment about an exit away from Leeds United for Daniel Farke. So an interesting one to keep an eye on. But yeah, it was very obvious what Piroe Marathe was flying into Leeds for. We have to wait and see if that actually turns into anything else or more sinister over the next couple of weeks and months, but the noise seems to be that it won't be. But let's move on. Let's talk about a transfer link and another shot stopper to add to your short list of Leeds United goalkeeper bingo for this summer. And another potential goalkeeper has been added to the short list today, and this one comes via Sport Bild in Germany. The outlet claimed that Leeds United are keen on FC Augsburg goalkeeper Finn Dahmen. The 27-year-old shot stopper has been at Augsburg since 2023, having previously played for Mainz 05 before that, and he's also been capped at Germany at international level between the ages of 15 and under 21s. But he can also represent England, as his mother is English, and that would also help with any potential move due to the visa requirements due to Brexit. So that would help with that situation as well. The shot stopper's current contract was extended recently after hitting an appearance clause milestone, and it now runs until the summer of 2027. Sport Bild doesn't say whether Leeds have made any formal approach to the club or had conversations with the players' representatives, but it does go on to say that the goalkeeper has got ideas around getting in Thomas Tuchel's England squad, so maybe this is the start of a link through an agent to try and get his name out there around English clubs and get a move back to England, and Leeds being the one that's been talked about quite a lot right now, so it'll be the right club to link it with. His statistics look really good, his shot stopping averages look very, very good, he's a decent goalkeeper. Whether he's the real goalkeeper Leeds are looking at, or whether it's just an agent linking a goalkeeper with a move to Leeds because of that England goalkeeper spot in the Thomas Tuchel comment, we'll have to wait and see. But he is a decent goalkeeper. Should be one to have a look at online if you want to check him out. And we'll move on to the final story of the day. This is a strange one. I thought I'd include this. It's kind of funny, but it's also, I suppose, it has a relevant point to it as well. But Joel Piroe is the highest goal scorer in the EFL Championship, and also has the most goal involvements of any player in the EFL Championship, but missed out on the EFL's Team of the Year to Norwich City striker Josh Sargent. And now Betfred, of all places, have called out the EFL and have used some facts and logic to point out why and explain why they believe Joe Piroe should have got the award and he didn't. In a lengthy post on X, they pointed out the total goal involvements as well as the goal contributions of Piroe and Josh Sargent, and even when you take into account the games that he's missed, the impact against the bigger sides in the division and more regular impact goes to Piroe, but the statement reads as follows. Joe Piroe not being in the championship team of the season is an absolute joke. The Leeds United forward has been directly involved in more goals than any other player in the division this season with 26. That's 5 more than any player who did make the 11. This is despite the fact that he started just 35 of his side's 45 matches so far. Across England's top 2 tiers, the only players with more non-penalty goals than him are Mo Salah, Alexander Isak and Erling Haaland, and that's certainly not bad company to keep. Perhaps his goal involvements largely came against lesser matches, leading him to be snubbed. Not quite. In the games against the rest of the top 6, he has averaged a goal or assist every 116 minutes, and the defining game of the season so far, a 6-0 thumping of Stoke City to confirm promotion, Piroe scored a hat-trick in the opening 20 minutes and added a 4th before the break for good measure. Well, maybe there was another striker who just had an outstanding season and pipped him to the post. Again, not quite. Josh Sargent got the nod up front. He's obviously a very impressive goal scorer, having bagged 15 goals in 31 games, but he missed a large portion of the season through injury, and even when he was fit, he hasn't always delivered. He scored in just 5 of Norwich City's wins all season and has just a single goal in his last 405 minutes, a period in which a few extra wins could have propelled the Canaries into the playoff contention. It seems odd to us that the team that scored 67 goals has 2 forwards in the team, whilst the side that bagged 93 has to settle for just 1. Ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter. Joe Piroe has fired Leeds United back to the promised land of the Premier League. He has operated as one of the league's best playmakers, whilst also outscoring every other player in the division. It's just a bit of a shame that he hasn't been recognised officially as the best attacker in the league, because he is. It's a very strong statement from Betfred, but it's pretty much bang on the money. I don't think you can argue with the numbers that he's put up and the goals per game that he's managed to chalk up as well, and the overall impact, not just goals but goals and assists, and what he has contributed to the Leeds United attack this season has been fantastic. He had that little run of 9 games without a goal, but he is more than made up for either side of that as well, and I think it's more a case that Leeds need to look at having more strikers in the team that can actually help them out with the goal load when he is going through those periods of low output. But that'll be it for me today, folks. Back tonight with a podcast about 7:30. If anything changes, I'll leave a note on the community tab, but it should be there 7:30 tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning outside of that for more Leeds news. See you then. Bye.